Hey, what's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back there with another daily crypto update. Cryptos are now falling lower again, and across the market here, a lot of cryptocurrencies that are down anywhere from 5 to 10, some even 15% down. And this is definitely a pretty big drop. I think it's a continuation of the general downside movement that we've been experiencing over the past week. And that's why I mentioned at the beginning of my previous video that you can't count on a single move to really give you a clear direction of what's going on, because yesterday we got a big jump, and I mentioned that while that is good, that we can't count on that to really get us out of any kind of choppiness, because the fact of the matter is the market is still very uncertain, right? And we're seeing a bunch of false signals, up days, all of a sudden down days out of nowhere. So that's why you have to take this step by step and really look at the trends and the support and resistance levels, which we will be covering during our technical analysis here, to give you a better idea of what's going on. But overall, we're reaching some interesting levels here. But the question is, are we going to fall lower? So I'll try to be answering that question. Keep in mind, nothing in this video is financial advice, just my personal opinion. And I'd be interested to hear your opinion on all of this. Where do you think the market is heading? Do you think we're going to experience even more downside? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and make sure to hit that subscribe button for more cryptocurrency videos. And I also wanted to mention that there's no specific news that's causing this drop here today, right? So it's basically just a continuation of the path of cryptocurrencies right now. So starting off with Bitcoin, we can see that indicators still downtrending, right? We have the RSI kicking back down, still above the 30 line for now, but I'm not sure that's going to hold. And as for the price, that's where things really get interesting. So basically, the low of this candlestick is basically $6,000. Our support level is closer to $6,100. And for now, we still have a higher low. If we drop, one or two more days, we'll probably, be moving into pretty deep into that 5,000 range over the next 2 weeks. Like I said, if we experience more downside here shortly. So that would really pretty much confirm that we're heading back down to $5,000, maybe a little bit lower than that to our uptrend line, which is our long-term major uptrend line at around $4,800. So basically here, if we're going to move below our $6,000 mark, I think that we're going to be testing at least $5,000, maybe even our uptrend line, like I said. But basically, $5,000 around there is where I would expect that we're heading next. Hopefully there we would get a really strong bounce, right? And something that could actually last, because of course that is our major uptrend line. But if we were to go below that, that would just be, kind of an apocalypse scenario for cryptocurrencies, right? At least for a long time to come. Now, something like 2013, right? So if we take a look, for now, no way to predict what's going to happen. We need to wait a day or two. We are still downtrending due to this initial downtrend line. We have our secondary downtrend line over here. Definitely a lot of pressure on the price. And right now it's going to be, make it or break it for the short term, right? If we can get a bounce and we're able to stay above 6,000 satoshis, then we'll have most likely avoided a bigger drop. But I'm just not convinced that that's what's going to happen, right? With the weakness we're seeing, and that we just made a full new reversal like this, it's just not looking good to stay above $6,000. So I do think that we're going to be losing our support level and heading back down closer to our longer term uptrend line. That's personally what I think is more likely at this point. And if we go ahead and take a look at some of the altcoins, we're going to get some different signals, but altcoins are, if anything, looking even a bit worse here. So Ethereum, pretty clear downtrend. At least things are clear here. We are back below our longer term downtrend line, and next stop is pretty clear at $273. So that's when we can expect some stabilization. We have, multiple support levels after that if we were to fall lower. But we'll take one thing at a time. For now, though, I feel like it is very likely that that Ethereum test $273. We just turned back below the 30 line on the RSI, so no bullish signs here. Really, everything is pointing towards a bit of a free fall down to $273 for Ethereum. Let's go ahead and take a look at Litecoin now, see what's going on. Litecoin is in the middle of this range here, also downtrending, and its next support level is going to be $45. I don't think we're going to be able to avoid reaching that, so that's where I think we're going to be heading next, especially with these indicators falling back lower again, as with the Ethereum chart. And now we're going to be moving into some of the other altcoins as per usual, and we're going to see what's going on. So Nano, I don't like Nano here. It's just dropped back below 20,000 satoshis. one of the smaller altcoins out there, I think it's just going to make it even harder for it to weather any kind of storm in this market. So I'm not touching Nano at all right here, and I expect it to just continue to trickle down lower, down to 10,000 Satoshis, maybe even below that. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple now. We're going to look at the Bittrex chart, see what's going on. So Ripple is coming up on its 30-cent support level. What's worrisome here for Ripple is I was expecting, a very nice bounce off the 30-cent level, since that was our breakout area, right? So we did close that breakout gap. And now the concern is it seems like we're slightly dipping below that 31-cent support level, and that could lead to a move, down into our initial range, right, before we even got this whole huge crypto run-up, which was around, basically 25 cents, right, in between 15 to that 30-cent level. So that's where I think we'll be trading next if we're going to start moving below the support level. And for now, it's looking like it's going to be the case, right? Indicators just freshly fell off a cliff right here. Let's go ahead, take a look at our next cryptocurrency. We're going to take a look at NEO, see what's going on. So NEO is currently falling below its $20 support level. Next stop is going to be $13. Pretty clean break of that support level, and as we're able to get a very quick bounce here within 24 hours, I think we're going to be rapidly reaching that $13 mark. Hopefully going to get some stabilization there. That's really what I expect, unless we're going to fall even lower than that, but we're not going to consider that for now. Let's already focus on this initial support level at $13. And as for the actual indicators, not looking good, right? We lost the uptrend line on the MACD, moving lower on the histogram, and the RSI moving even lower compared to the previous low back here. So that's not good at all. NEO has been pretty weak compared to how it was in the past. Definitely lost a lot of strength there, and the general weakness of the crypto, especially altcoin market, is not helping. But all cryptos are weak right now. Don't get me wrong. However, Bitcoin obviously is just better set up to hold up a bit better. Let's take a look at EOS now, see what's going on. So EOS did drop below 9,300 Satoshis. And like I mentioned, I just wasn't convinced that it was going to be easy to get back above that. Now it's not looking likely at all. It's looking like we're going to test that 8,000 Satoshi support level. And to be honest, I think that we're going to be heading down to at least 7,000 Satoshi. So while we do have support at 8,000 Satoshis, I think that we're more likely to get some kind of stabilization at around 7,000 Satoshis, especially with that RSI now dipping back below for the third time below the 30 line. And then that's typically, when the RSI is hanging around or below that 30 line, that's a very clear sign of a bearish market. Let's go ahead and take a look at Stellar Lumens now and see what's happening. So Stellar is actually looking decent here. Looks like it's moving a little bit higher, basically getting a bounce off the uptrend line. Like I said, if any altcoin is going to weather the storm decently, it's going to be Stellar. It's just set up right fundamentally, and the technicals are pretty strong here. A lot of support levels. So I'm not counting on it to start going sky high or anything like that. While it is getting a bounce here today, I'd say we'll see initially if we're able to stay above this uptrend line. That would already be a good sign. Now that we're back above 3,400 Satoshis, see if we can remain above that. Really, I'm just seeing if we can stay above this yellow uptrend line, right? As long as we're still above that, we'll hold up decently. However, if we move below that, that's when things might start getting a little bit more into the free fall mode. Let's go ahead and take a look at Lisk, see what's going on. So Lisk, I don't like Lisk here, I'm going to be honest. I already mentioned that, but just seems like one of the weaker altcoins out there. Made a fresh new low on the RSI, and deep into that below the 30 line. Very weak there. Indicators not looking good. Now putting in a lower low on the price, moving below $3. I think the next stop is going to be $2 here for Lisk. Cut straight to the point there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Cardano, see what's going on. So Cardano is currently trading right near these uptrend lines right here. So we do have some support from those previous uptrend lines. I mean, they're still holding up, but the question is, how long is this going to last, right? It's kind of messy right now on the chart. Indicators actually look decently strong. This is similar to Stellar in the sense that it's actually one of the altcoins that seems to be holding up well, and fundamentally does have some positive signs, like the potential listing on Coinbase. As with Stellar, right now we're still in this range between 2,000 Satoshis and 1,254 Satoshis. So that's a general area that we can expect to be trading in. If we're able to get above 2,000 satoshis, that might be a sign of more healthiness, and that we're going to be able to hold up well. However, if we start falling lower again, I'd expect a move down to 1,254 satoshis, which is our support level. Let's go ahead and take a look at IOTA for our last cryptocurrency of the daily crypto update. IOTA now falling lower in this range. Complete free fall mode here. We're now heading down to 50 cents. That was spot on with my prediction, and I think that since this is what looks like to be just the beginning of even more of a drop, I think that we're not going to avoid falling down to 33 cents. So I think that's where we're going to be heading next, especially with this RSI, perfect head and shoulder pattern there, very bearish on the RSI, now breaking lower. So I don't like that. A lot of selling volume. I think 33 cents is the next area that we're going to test as far as some kind of stabilization is concerned. With that being said, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know your thoughts about this. Definitely looking pretty bearish here. We'll see if some news is going to come out, be it bearish or bullish, just to get an idea of what might be going on behind the scenes. Of course, a lot going on with these ETFs, and that's going to set the trend every time that we get an approval or a rejection. Make sure to follow me on Twitter for those live cryptocurrency market updates, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.